Okay, great. Thank you very much for the introduction. Thank you that you all came here and took the time and the travel. I don't know where you come from. I'm here on a business trip to meet a few guys and maybe we do business together. And I'm happy to have the chance to have also a little talk. And hear about small talk. Maybe you have individual interests which I could talk about, detailed interests. We can make this very open. So if you want to know something about garbage collection, we can talk about that. Just in my population, we can talk about that. UBA building and all that stuff, we can talk about that as well. You are probably a bit distracted here right now. And I would like to make a standard presentation of my small talk system and talk about the differences to other small talks as well. I guess you all know small talk, so I don't talk about the basic details, and I leave the standard motivating things when I talk to Java programs also. I would like to present a few tools which are part of Smalltalk X, and I will also talk about the technical things which are very different from other Smalltalks. Okay, let's talk about the history. It all began in 1981 when I read a Byte magazine, which is very famous, and probably all of you have read it, and I said I want such a system. I want to have this, and I couldn't get my hold on it, and so I started to write my own. And because it was very, very slow, doing a bytecode interpreter in BASIC or whatever I used at that time, I said, no, there's no chance. I don't want an interpreter, I use a compiler. So my first idea was to make something which compiles Smalltalk, takes a Smalltalk file, an ST file, which is in file out format, and translates this, I call this STC, Smalltalk to C compiler, and creates a file which is in C, and which implements all the semantics of the original Smalltalk, including contexts, blocks, and all that stuff. Which is then compiled by the C compiler of the system into an O file, or OBJ nowadays. This can also be Bowman C. That's what it's used in Windows. And then we use a lot of them and create a DLL from that. And then I use a lot of these DLLs and a little startup main. And this together gives STX, the executable. But if you choose other DLLs, you can also make a standalone application which is not looking like Smalltalk on the outside. So this Smalltalk is not here at this stage. That was the situation, I would say, in 85 or 86. At this stage, you could create applications which look like Smalltalk, but you don't have a Smalltalk development environment. So the next thing I did was to create in Smalltalk bytecode compiler, this time written in Smalltalk. By the way, STC was written in YAC and Lex and C. You probably know YAC and Lex. And in 86, 87, I created a bytecode compiler, which was now written in Smalltalk and part of that system. And I added this one. I also forgot. There is a runtime system, of course, which is another DLL, which has to be added to this. Memory management, simple table management, string management, all that stuff. And I added another bytecode interpreter. The idea was, when you deliver, when you deploy, you do this, you create an executable for the customer. But while you develop, you do this. And then the bytecode interpreter became more and more popular over time. So in, I would say, 88, 89, somewhere around that time, I added the jitter. This is a little piece of code also written in C and part of the runtime library, which takes a bytecode and produces machine code from it, dynamically on the fly in the system in the memory while it runs. So this is the jitter, takes bytecode and produces machine code in the executing image. So that is the situation. If you start Smalltalk X as you downloaded it from our website, you will initially have this stuff. Everything is compiled to machine code via the STC compiler. But if you start with the browser to change things, they will replace methods by bytecode methods. And when you execute it the first time, it will create machine code internally. And this is what I'm going to show you first, because that's very different from all our Smalltalks. So this Smalltalk does have an image if you like, but it doesn't need one. And when you start Smalltalk from scratch, and you look into a class, let me look, for example, a very popular class. Let's say we go to auto collection. And we look at, I don't know, something like this. This is a typical Smalltalk method. And there is a special menu here which says inspect method. We can have a look into the object. And here we see the instance variables. And the funny thing is here you see an instance variable named bytecode, which is nil. And you see another instance variable which is named code, which is an external address pointing to the STC compiled function. And if I now change something in here, maybe I add a halt. I'm not sure if that's a good idea, because words might be used somewhere. We will see in a bit. If I now look at this method again, we will now see that it has already been called. Let's use something else. Let's use, I don't know, let's use the clear contents. That's probably very, very unpopular. Let's change this one. And inspect it now. Yes. Here you now see it has no longer any code, but it has a bytecode, as the usual Smalltalk writes, usual and so on. You can even decompile that stuff.